Evan Carter didn't know how long he'd been running. All he knew was the cold air burning in his chest, the forest blurring around him, and the thought pounding louder than his heartbeat. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And when he reached the edge of the old bridge, the one the town forgot to maintain, he whispered into the darkness. No one would even notice if I disappeared. Evan wasn't the loud kid, the popular kid, or the troublemaker. He was just Evan. The boy who sat in the back row, who worked shifts at the diner after school, who pretended not to hear when classmates joked about his thrift store clothes. His father had left when he was 8. His mother drifted in and out, physically present but emotionally miles away, numbing herself with whatever she could find. Some days she forgot to eat, other days she forgot she had a son at all. Football was supposed to be his escape, his one way out of the town that kept swallowing him whole. And for a while, it worked. Coach Ramirez saw something in him, grit, heart, a stubborn determination that outworked every naturally talented player on the field. "You're gonna make it, Carter," Coach said once, clapping a firm hand on his shoulder. "You keep pushing, and someone's gonna see you." But scholarships needed more than effort, they needed stability, grades, and consistency. And Evan didn't have much of any of those. Still, he tried. Lord, he tried. Every morning before school, he lifted weights in the empty gym. Every night after closing the diner, he ran laps around the football field, the stadium lights flickering like they were cheering him on. But life has a way of testing the ones who are already barely holding on. It happened on a Tuesday afternoon. Rain poured in sheets, soaking the field as the team practiced. The quarterback, Brett Lawson, decided he was tired of Evan trying too hard. He muttered to the others, "Loud enough. Can someone tell Carter this ain't the Olympics?" A few boys laughed. Evan kept his eyes down, kept running the play. But when Brett intentionally shoved him mid-sprint, making him fall face-first into the mud, the laughter grew. Coach Ramirez blew the whistle. Enough. But the damage was done. Mud on his face, knees throbbing, stinging laughter echoing in his ears, Evan felt the familiar ache rise in his chest. He wanted to be strong. He wanted to be the kid who brushed it off. But that night, after practice, when he walked home to a dark apartment and found his mom passed out on the couch again, bottles on the floor, something inside him cracked. Maya texted him, "Hey, are you okay?" Heard what happened. He read it. Didn't reply. The world felt too heavy for words. Over the next few days, the quiet storm in him grew. Teachers asked if something was wrong. Coach asked why he seemed distant. Maya even waited by his locker, touching his arm gently. "Evan, talk to me. Please." But how do you explain to people that you're drowning when they can't even see the water? Then came the scholarship results, the ones he'd been praying for. His name wasn't on the list. Not even as a maybe. That night, Evan didn't go home. He walked straight past Main Street, straight past the diner where his coworkers called out his name, straight past the school where he once believed his dreams could come true. He walked into the woods, the ones the town kids told stories about, the ones parents warned their children to stay away from. But Evan wasn't scared. He was tired. So tired. The old bridge sat at the far edge of the trail, hanging over a shallow river that roared louder during storms. Tonight, after days of rain, the water churned like an angry beast. Evan climbed onto the railing. His sneakers slipped against the wet metal, but he kept his balance. He closed his eyes. Maybe this is easier, he thought. Maybe this is how I finally stop disappointing everyone. He didn't hear the footsteps at first. Or the breaking of branches. Or the voice calling his name. But then. "Evan. Don't move." Maya's voice. He turned just enough to see her, soaked, shaking, breathing like she'd sprinted a mile without stopping. "Maya?" What are you? How did you? You didn't answer my texts, she said, wiping rain and tears from her face. And Coach said he hadn't seen you. I knew something was wrong. Her voice cracked, and for the first time that week, Evan felt something other than numbness. Fear. Not for himself, but for her. Maya, go home, he said softly. Please. This isn't your problem. Yes, it is, she yelled, stepping closer. You think you don't matter? Evan, you matter to me. More than you know. He shook his head. You're better off without me. No, she whispered. I'm not. Rain poured harder. Lightning flashed in the distance. And then came another voice, loud, steady, unshakable. Carter. Look at me. Coach Ramirez. Soaked. Out of breath. Eyes fierce with a mix of fear and determination. I'm not letting you go, son, Coach said, stepping closer, hands raised the way someone approaches a wounded animal. You hear me? You've been carrying the world on your back since the day I met you. But not tonight. Not alone. Evan swallowed hard. Coach took another step. Then another. You think you failed, Coach said. You think that scholarship decided your worth? No. That's just paperwork. But your life is bigger than football, bigger than this town, bigger than the pain you're drowning in. Maya nodded, tears streaming. Please come down, please. For the first time in hours, Evan felt warmth. Not from the weather, from the two people standing in the storm for him. People who didn't give up. People who cared. His voice broke. I don't know how to keep going. Maya whispered, then let us help you. And with trembling hands that had carried too much for too long, Evan climbed down from the railing. Maya ran to him first, wrapping her arms around him. Coach rested a steady hand on his shoulder. And Evan cried, not from weakness, but from release. The next few months weren't easy. Healing rarely is. Evan started therapy. Coach helped him find a part-time job that didn't stretch him thin. Maya stayed by his side, checking on him, reminding him he wasn't alone. He retook exams, raised his grades, and even though he didn't land a football scholarship, Coach helped him get into a community college nearby, one with a solid mental health program and a coach who believed in second chances. Evan visited his mom too, helping her get into treatment, though some days she relapsed. But he learned something important. He couldn't save everyone. But he could save himself. And one crisp autumn evening, as he stood on the new campus field, watching students play casually in the fading light, he whispered something into the breeze. I'm still here, and I'm not giving up. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is ask for help, because life wasn't meant to be survived alone. If this story touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might be fighting their own silent battle tonight. And if you believe in stories that heal, inspire, and remind us we're never alone, follow for more.